canonized by Pastor Heidi, and that was really the turning point of my life. Before then, I was just an ordinary guy, but I listened to talks like this, and I decided to go a different route. So thank you. I'm sure that you learned quite a lot, and I'm also very sure that it will make a difference in your life. It's not just to listen, but it's to act. You know, take something out of this and do something positive with it. I'd like to share a musical I like a lot. It inspires me. I hope it's true to sing.
Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get some life back into my life. I'm ready to move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life. We're the rest of them, we're the best of them. I can hold my head up high, or I've got a goal again, I've got to drive again. I'm gonna feel my heart coming alive again before the parade passes by.
I don't know if you guys know Michael Crawford. His other name is Frank Spencer. That's the guy there, Frank Spencer. It's a very renowned comedian in the 70s and in the 80s. I'd really love for you guys to listen to this music. It's extremely good and I love it. What it says there is, when the parade passes by, would you be amongst the best of them, or you want to be with the rest of them? So where do you want to be? Do you want to be amongst the best of them, or you want to be with the rest of them? And if you're with the rest of them, would you be able to hold your head up high? Or if you're with the best of them, would you be comfortable with them? So what do you do to be with the best of them? How do you hold your head up high when you're with the rest of them? What brings about the change? What do you want to do things differently? And this is what I want to talk about. So it's basically about diligence and the God factor. That's what I want to talk about here is diligence and the God factor. Now, because we're talking about diligence and the God factor, I'd like to borrow a leaf from Matthew. We all have heard or have read about the parable of the talent. And, you know, I won't bore you with the story. You already know the story, but we call it the mighty effect. The mighty effect, a master was going away and he decided to give his guys some talents. To one he gave 5 talents, to the other he gave 2 talents, and to another he gave 1 talent. We all know the story. So the one he gave the 5 talents went straight to work. That's what the Bible says, he went straight to work. The one with the 2 talents also went to work, and the one with the 1 talent kept his talent. So what happened? We all know, and I'm sure we have some first classers here. Let us see if that resonates in our present situation. In school, we all know the first class guys, the first classes. Who are they different? And if you've noticed, the first classes are always favored by the professors. Okay, let us leave school. In business too, the very good companies will have extra favor. Like, for example, if we have Julius Berger and other companies bidding for a contract in the same environment, it's very likely that Julius Berger will get a contract. So that's the multi-factor in play there. So why is it that some people are favored? Why is it that they get extra favor? That's because they're doing well. They have that, again, I want to refer to it as a multi-factor working for them. So how do you develop the multi-factor? How do you become a first classer? We have different historical epochs in our lives. You have school. School is an historical epoch for you. If you're working, that's another historical epoch. If you just got married, well, a new historical epoch. So what are you doing? You must remember that every day gives you an opportunity to write your history. What history are you writing today? What history are you writing right now? What are you taking away from here? You need to write your history anyhow. And it's daily. So, what are you doing today? What are those things, what are those elements that you find in the first class, be it school, work, anywhere? Those are the high achievers, those great guys. What are the elements? They're very simple and they're basic. They're usually very disciplined people. Very disciplined people. They're very hardworking too, we all know that. They go the extra mile, whatever they do. They are focused. Very focused. We know that too. What else? They're diligent, they're focused, they are hardworking, they are disciplined. So these are the basic elements. And so if you have all of those elements in you, whatever you do, very simple basic elements, be it school, be it at work, you'll make a difference. And the more difference you make, the more of the magic factor that you'll get. So if you put those things together in anything you do, of course it's very likely that you get much more. So do you want to be rich? Is that your goal? Do you want to be respected? Do you want to be very wealthy? Whatever you want to do you want to come out as a first-class person in school? So yes, if yes is the answer, what should you do? Work hard, be very diligent. Stay focused on your goal. What do you want to achieve? Greatness. Work on it. You definitely will achieve. But it's also very important to know that it's not just to say, that, well, I want to be great, or I want to do this, or I want to do well. No. It comes with practice. It comes with doing these things repeatedly over time until it becomes a second nature. If, let us borrow a leaf from one of the greats in, say, golf. Tiger Woods would practice and practice and practice to achieve that height. So the greats are not just doing it, but they just don't work hard. They work much, much, much harder than the ordinary people. So, do you want to be different? And I always say this to myself too, I'm also saying that to myself right now. Do I want to be with the best of them? Do I want to be a great person on earth? Do I want to make a difference? If yes, then I really have to work hard. I also must be focused. I don't know if you've read that book, if you've read Alice in Wonderland. It's a very common book. The cat asked Alice, Alice was always asking the cat a lot of questions, and there was this question I liked her there. She said, so how do I get there? She said, well, if you do not know where you're going to, it doesn't matter which way you go. So right now, have you looked out, have you really assessed your life? Have you assessed the things you're doing right now? Which way do you really want to go? Do you know your way? Well, if you know your way, and if you know what you want to achieve, there are a lot of ways to achieve it, that means that end rather. So, are you working towards achieving your end? What is it? How focused are you? What are you focused on? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to make it in life? And if so, how? Are you very precise about the things you'd love to achieve in life? Or you are just wishing? It's one thing to wish, we all do that. We all will think of the things we'd like to achieve and then go to sleep or maybe watch African magic instead of reading. Or instead of thinking of your job and how to improve on your job. So if you want to make a difference, please do make a difference by working hard and staying very focused. Like any first classer, it makes no difference what you pursue. It makes no difference what you are in, to be catering or management or be a consultant. It requires work, and it's work, simple hard work. And staying focused on your goals is what will make you achieve greatness. There's another thing I'd like for us to look at, and that's the 10,000 hours thing. The magic factor is very important, but for you to gain mastery in anything, you need to constantly practice. And for you to get to those great heights where you are seen as a master in any field, you must necessarily put in as much as 10,000 hours. So, how is the practice like? If you want to be, let's say, a renowned professor in economics, you definitely put in 10,000 hours to become a renowned professor. at your workplace, how many hours are you truly putting in? Would they recognize your absence if you're not there? That's to say you've just, you're living a just passing by life. You know the just passing by life? You go in there, you stay, and just leave. You come in again the next day and live a just passing by life. With the just passing by life, you never can be with the best of them. You always will be with the rest of them, and if you're in the crowd, nobody will identify with you. So you necessarily must work hard. You have to practice like Tiger Woods. You have to practice like, I'm very sure, I know that for sure, that our General Overseer, the General Overseer of the Christian Church of God, is in a lot of books. And that's to say that he reads the Bible much more than a whole lot of the pastors in reading. If not, he wouldn't have that time, that knowledge to write all the books he's written. So, if you want to be distinguished, if you want to make a difference, you necessarily must practice. You necessarily must do much more than what you are doing right now. It's common. Supreme goal is well worth supreme effort. What's your supreme goal? Is your effort commensurate? And a lot of times we tend to, the gentleman here, Mr. Debo mentioned it too, we tend to blame everybody and everything about our non-performance. Well, it's a common knowledge that in anything at all, the fault is not necessarily in our stars, but in ourselves that we should underline. So if you're not doing well, please do not blame, well, they didn't send me to school. A friend of mine said, well, I left school 7 years ago, but I've not had the opportunity. Anytime I try something, no, it's not that way at all. It's you. Underline the failure, or underline whatever issue with yourself. So there's another aspect I'd like for us to look at, and that's the God factor. The God factor is very important. In business and in all other sectors, we call it luck. Even in Harvard Business School, will tell you that there's the element of luck. Two people might start the same thing, and one will do very well and the other will struggle. It's very common. Or let us look at the Matthew effect. How come one was given 7 talents and the other 2? That's also the God effect, the God factor. Call it luck if you like, but it's necessary for you to have that God factor working for you. So how do you attract that? You've heard, of course, God factor is grace, purely grace, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of preachings on grace. But there's a way to do it, and this is the way I've done it in my life. To be honest, it's worked out for me. I work in a department in church, and I do that work far more than my business. That work is 100 times more important than my business, to be honest with you. I'm not paid for it, but I do it diligently to a point where if I'm not in church, everybody will know that I'm not in church because I work in that department. But do you know why I do that? Because God will in turn favor me. And I get the favor. A lot of times I get things that I truly do not bid for. They'll call you to say, hey, do you do this? Do you want to do this for us? Of course, yes. Yes, and that's the God factor. You can call it luck if you like, but you can attract that God factor into your life. It's just like the Matthew effect, where one for one had, why would the 5 talents, why would he be given 5 talents? So there's something about it. So for you to succeed, you need to work very hard. You have to be very diligent, so that ordinarily you'd enjoy the Matthew effect. You need to put in a lot of hours. You have to practice for you to gain mastery. And of course, there's the God factor. There's one element I'd also want to mention, which is what succeeds beyond success. And we are struggling. And the good thing is we have a lot of young people here, so it's a good start for you. We've had it 3 times today. I've been here about an hour, 3 times. What succeeds beyond success is integrity. Now, we're the greatest guys we've seen on earth. Use Mandela. It's not money, they didn't say money, but heights of integrity. And the old world stood for its funeral. Another person again. Not too long ago, I heard Mr. President, our president, wanted to see the General Overseer. The General Overseer was, and then he heard that the General Overseer was in church in Ikeja. So he left Abuja and came to Ikeja to see the General Overseer. Just to see the General Overseer, Mr. President. That's high height of integrity. So these are the things that succeed beyond success. So you're young. If you cultivate it early, it will truly, truly work out for you. It is very important that you cultivate it early in life. You've heard it repeatedly, and so it's extremely important. Right? But guys, you've got to work hard. You have to be very focused. Don't go easy on a good night. A lot of us do that. Would rather sit down and blame it on it. Oh, yes, I'm tired. I remember I was in school in America, and I wasn't coping. I wasn't doing too well compared to the other guys. These other guys are from about 36 or so countries, and these guys are very brilliant, some with PhDs. I was at school with them guys. So you can imagine how it's like, I have forgotten how to really do this, so you can see me asking somebody, these guys are good with IT, good with everything, and they just something there to get answers, And of course, I'm used to asking somebody to type for me sometimes. But when I realized that, I decided to do something different. I said, you know what, I'm going to be sitting for just 4 hours every night. I started putting in extra hours. And in our second semester, it worked out so well for me. I was amongst the best of them. Today, I stand to represent this school. It's a great school. The good medium has. It's Harvard. So if you open Harvard Business School, you see my face, the ordinary me, the very ordinary me, taking extraordinary steps by deciding to work hard. You can. We all can. Look, not too long ago, I remember vividly, same Pastor I organized a conference like this. I was nothing, to be honest, absolute nothing. And I said, I listened to talks like this, and I said I was going to work hard. And I still am working hard because I have great heights to get to. You've got to work hard, no choice. If you work hard, the mighty effect will work for you. And if you do work for God, the God factor will definitely be extraordinarily effective also. But more than anything else, integrity does matter. Nothing succeeds more than integrity. So guys, I thank you. I wish that you see that thank you.